Are you serious?
I've got a fire in my eyes. I'm burning brighter than the sunlight. You orchestrated my escape. Now I'm awake. I feel alive for the first time. You ignite the fire in my
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Brother Marcos radio show. Oh yes, it's already June the 1st, 2016. This is the third year of the Brother Marcos radio show. And of course, I am Brother Marcos, speaking from São Paulo, Brazil. And I'm glad to be with you once again, and glad to be discussing with you the many issues that really affect the lives of Christians all around the world. Because you know, guys, nothing really changes. There's nothing new under the sun. Oh yes, the Bible tells us this, because human nature is the same. It has been the same, for ages. So it doesn't matter that I'm speaking from Brazil, that you are in Australia, in New Zealand. We basically share the same characteristics, okay? Because we're all human. And also the spiritual world, it works in the same way everywhere you go, okay? And also, my friends, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, at the time when the book of Proverbs was written, and you go there and you check and you see how people behaved, how they reacted to the challenges of life. Basically the same thing that we see today. Oh yes. So I think that's a good advantage for us, because we can go to the Bible. It doesn't matter. Some people say, well, you cannot base your life on a text that was written 2,000 years ago, because we are now living in this wonderful time where everything is different. No, it's not. You are wrong. You are wrong, my friend. Because human nature never changes, okay? Now, it has always been the same thing, okay? So the belief that we live in the special times, that we have some special revelation because we use iPhones and the internet. I mean, come on. This is childish. This is magical thinking. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? So, my friends, we're going to talk today about the Jezebel spirit. Jezebel spirit. Oh, yes. Even the name gives me the creeps. Jezebel. We immediately think about this witch, horrible witch. Everybody is familiar with Jezebel. A whore, a witch. She basically, my friends, she combines in herself all the worst characteristics of the female characteristics of human. Okay, and first of all, I'm not bashing women today. Okay, I think the men, they have their problems too. There are some sins that are very related, to gender, and especially for men, the sin of aggression, anger. Everybody knows these guys. They just wake up, leave home, and they are aggressive. They go to the streets and trying to, just fight people. Road rage. This is really masculine, okay? I'm not saying that women, they are starting to do the same thing. But this kind of thing, I'm going to go out and I'll find myself someone just to start a fight. Or some of those guys that really drink heavily and they start fighting with everybody and they lose control. These are demons that work. They love to work with men, okay? But women, they have also their particular demons. Oh yeah, particular characteristics, especially cunning and being Machiavellic, gossiping, okay? And using their sexual powers, because sexual power is innate to the woman. Okay, that's the way we are. That's the way we are. That's the way that God has made us. Okay, because men, they are attracted by beauty. They're attracted by the visual aspect of the human female, and there is power. There is definitely power in the female body. Okay, and that's why in the Bible, God tells us, and especially He tells women to guard their bodies, to be modest, to be responsible. In other words, that's what He says. Be responsible, because you have a weapon. Okay, so take care of your body. Be modest. Be sober. Okay, because you have an effect on men. You do. Okay. It's something automatic. It's something that men can control, especially if they're Christians and if they abide in the Spirit, if they follow the Spirit, if they follow Jesus Christ, they can control those urges, okay? But especially with non-Christians, there is power in the exposed flesh of women. And so that's why Jesus Christ say, you must control. You must control this power you have. Just like in the same manner that men must control their physical strength, they must control their anger, okay? So because they have this power over women, they are stronger, okay? And sometimes, my friends, we see some events, some situations that make these things very, very clear. And today we're going to talk about this Jezebel spirit. And because I think it's taken over the world, basically, because it's not only based on female, attraction and this kind of thing, but it's also a spirit of arrogance, of pride, and of control, and mockery. Oh yes, mockery plays a big part in that. So, in order to illustrate that, I want to talk about a situation that happened here in Brazil. Very sad situation, my friends, but it triggered a response in the feminists here in Brazil that it's really exemplary on the way that it shows, where we are going as a society as a whole. Okay, and I know that you face the same problems in the United States. Last week, we have, in Rio de Janeiro, there are several favelas, okay, the slums, where poor people live. Basically these are places that people just invaded, so they don't own the land, okay? Usually it's public land or even dangerous places like in the hills, things like that, in the slopes of the hills. Very dangerous places to build a house, but they don't care because it's free. So they invade those places and they start sometimes this whole neighborhood there. And then later the government will come there and, just build roads, streets and things like that, put electricity. But, it's a very dangerous places, especially in Rio de Janeiro, because they have the drug dealers there. It's not because someone is poor that he is, immediately you can say, well, this person is a criminal. Not at all. Most people who live in favelas, I would say 99% of people there, they are workers. They are working people, honest people who really wake up early in the morning and go to work. Okay, they work the whole day. They are good people. There is a lot of churches in favelas, my friends. If you remember, you should pray for them, because it's a hard life. I'll tell you, pastors there, they deserve our appreciation and our support, because it's even dangerous, okay? But there's a lot of churches there, so that there's a lot of good people living in favelas, okay? But unfortunately, my friends, those 1% there, they are drug dealers, they're crazy people, they're criminals. And And they like the party. They like to party. Oh, yes, those criminals, they like the La Vida Loca. And basically, my friends, what they do is that they set up what we call the funk parties, okay? They call it funk, but they have nothing to do with the American funk. Oh, no, this is not, the Tramps or, Rick James, nothing like that. No, it's not funk music. It's a different kind of music, okay? But they call it funk. And the funk parties, basically, they are big parties with complete debauchery, all right? And lots of drugs, lots of alcohol, minors, and they set up in any kind of ground that they find. They just set up this stage and the loudspeakers. And the problem, my friends, is just like rap in the United States. The lyrics of the songs, they are all about sex, rape, hatred for the police, crime. It's just like a celebration of crime. It's like, I am the best, I will kill the police, I am the best, I'm a criminal, all the girls love me, I have 24 girlfriends. It's just much like rap in the United States. But here it's even worse because the dance, there's a kind of dance associated with funk parties and funk music, which is basically a replication, a reenactment of the sexual act. Yes, it is. They girls shaking their behinds and making all kinds of poses, and sometimes with the boys, just like the sexual act. And they do that all the time in those funk parties, okay? So, very demonic thing. You would think that police would go there and shut the thing down, but it's exactly the contrary. The Marxists in the government, they say this is a cultural thing. This is something that must be motivated. We have to give them financial incentives because this comes from the people, But of course, we know that Marxists, they like chaos and they like criminality, because once you have chaos and the total destruction of society, it's easier for them to implement their revolution, because there's no revolution when people are living in peace. When people are, just raising their kids in a healthy environment, things are going well, when there's progress and development, no revolution. Why would you like to have a revolution and the shedding of blood and the killing of young people when you were enjoying life? So they need chaos, my friends. Do not be fooled by the Marxists. They never want progress. Progress works against them. If Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton get elected, they will institute chaos in the United States because they do not want progress. Okay? So, my friends, that's what they do. And so what happened is that last week, there was a video that surfaced on internet, on Facebook, in the internet. And it's a video of this girl. She was naked. And some guys around her, like, doing the thumbs up and laughing. Okay? And then, my friends, it just started to erupt like a volcanic explosion in the internet, okay? Because this girl, she said that she had been raped by 30 guys. Okay, 30 guys. That's what she said, all right? Well, immediately there was this outcry in the internet. All the feminists, they started saying, well, this is a disgrace, this is a tragedy. Brazil is a horrible place with a culture of rape. All men are rapists in potential. We must do something. And protests and everything, okay? And, but my friends, little by little, truth starts to be revealed, okay? First of all, I would like to say that rape is one of the most heinous, one of the most horrible crimes of all, okay? It must be punished. Oh yeah, severely, all right? I believe in severe punishment for rapists, okay? Because it's a horrible, horrible crime. I also believe that the victims should be helped and receive psychological help, and if they allow, spiritual help, why not? I mean, that's the most effective kind of treatment. It's a spiritual help, but it's not, unfortunately, not all of them will accept this kind of help. But anyway, having said that, let's examine what happened, okay? This was a girl. She's 16 now. She had been living La Vida Loca since she was 13. She already has a baby. Oh yeah, a 3-year-old baby who lives with the grandmother, okay? And what happens is that this girl, she is girlfriends with the drug dealers there, and she leaves home and spends 3, 4, 5 days away from home in the houses of the drug dealers, of her friends, so she's just living La Vida Loca. And that's what people in the favela are saying. They even have the protest 2 days ago saying that she was really wild, okay? And my friends, lots of pictures of her holding a rifle, automatic rifle, pistols, sniffing drugs, half naked in sensual poses. So that's what she used to do. She used to post on Facebook this kind of pictures, okay? Just celebrating the criminal life, because these girls that they turn to be the girlfriends of drug dealers, they really celebrate the criminal life. They don't think it's something bad. They think it's something cool. It's cool to be the girlfriend of a drug dealer, because you have, nobody can touch you in that neighborhood. You have money. You have the attention of people, and if you don't mind just having sex with lots of guys, there's no problem. So that's the kind of a person we're talking about. Of course, this is a disgrace and a tragedy, because she was 13, okay? This is very important for us to have a perspective, okay? The problem is not only the alleged rape of this girl. The whole problem is that she was raised in that horrible circumstances, okay? But thus the left, the Marxists, they don't care about that. They only care about the rape, because the rape they can exploit in a political manner. They never said anything about her whole life there, because they protect the criminals, okay? As I will explain later. But you see, my friends, what happened is that she had just left a funk party. She was there with friends. And did she go home? No. She went straight to a friend's house. I think it was her boyfriend, her current boyfriend house, and had sex with him. And the people there say that usually she has sex with several guys at the same time, okay? And then maybe she says that she passed out, okay? So she was probably drugged. And then she says that she woke up and then she counted 30 guys there, and that, she had been raped by 30 guys. All right? So there's a lot of discussion here. Many people saying that this was a fabrication. Many people saying that she just made up the story. Many people saying that she used to be into orgies. But my friends, I'll tell you, the feminists, they just grabbed the opportunity. And they started saying, well, Brazil is a horrible place. Brazil is a place where there's a culture of rape. All men are rapists. You know what they're saying? We must be all kinds of laws against the domination of men against women. Things like whistles. You cannot whistle to a lady. You cannot even smile. No, I'm not kidding here. they're saying this, because if you smile to a lady because she's attractive, that means that you're thinking about raping her. I mean, they're completely crazy. They're completely crazy. And they're saying, we have to institute forced education, compulsory education for kids, for small kids, small boys, because they must realize that they are rapists in potential, okay? And so they have to go through this education at school, all right? So they will be afraid they will, feel guilty for their whole lives for being men, and they will be afraid to talk to women for their whole lives. That's what they want. I kid you not, my friends. But see how evil the whole thing is, because most of those guys that either raped her or had an orgy with her, okay, many of them are minors. But you see how it works. The left here in Brazil, they don't want the reduction of the age of responsibility for those crimes. The conservatives here in Brazil, they have been fighting for a reduction of this age. We want we want guys, 16-year-olds who really murder people or rape women. We want them to go to jail. We think it's just fair, But in Brazil, I'll tell you, if you are under 18, you can kill someone and nothing will happen to you. You're going to spend a couple of years, if you're unlucky, okay? If you're unlucky, you're going to spend a couple of years in a special place, okay? In a kind of rehabilitation place. And then you leave that place with a clean sheet. Oh yeah, it's like nothing happened. You killed not one. I mean, even if you killed 10 people, all right, when you're 17 and a half, or when you have just one day before you turn 18, you go there and you kill 18 people, all right? Nothing will happen to you. So this is ludicrous. This is ridiculous, okay? But the left, they say, no, we cannot touch them. We cannot touch them. The left, you know what they say? Drug dealers, they are victims of society. There is a congressman here in Brazil, Jean Willis. He's the champion of the gay people. He's into Santeria. So he's basically a demon, this man. And he says that, poor people should be allowed to be drug dealers because they don't have any other choice. They're victims of society. So if they're drug dealers, it's just their right to be drug dealers. Okay, so they protect all this situation. They give money to the funk parties. They say that it's cultural. All those songs about killing policemen, all those songs about raping women, all those songs about immorality, they say it's cultural, and they give money from the taxpayers to that. Okay? They protect the drug dealers. They say they're just victims of society. They protect the 17-year-old criminals, and the gangs, they know about this law. So what they do when they have to kill someone, when they want to kill someone, they just tell a 17-year-old to do it. They say, come here, Bob. Bob, you're only 17, so you're going to do the job, okay? You go there and you kill that person. And he says, okay, because he knows nothing will happen to him. If you get caught, we'll take care of your family, we'll give you money, and you're going to spend 2 years there in the rehab, okay? He says, okay, he goes there and kills the person. That's how it works, So the left does this. And when the result happens, this is the obvious result of this whole situation. Okay? An orgy. Then they say that the guilty party, the culprits, are the men, the good family man, the honest man, especially the Christian man, because they say that the Bible is against women. So we are, we who respect women, we who treat women well, we are the criminals, not the drug dealers. So you see the whole craziness of the thing, And I mean, even in the United States, you see, any sane person, any healthy person with a brain knows that this situation is a reflection of the destruction of morality. And it's because we just have abandoned God and all the good values. Because in the United States, even this week in Fort Myers, Florida, there was this girl. She was a 15-year-old girl, even younger than the one here. She had sex with 25 guys inside the school. Inside the school. It's exactly the same situation. With the difference is that here, the girl here, she's smarter, or she's being helped, maybe, by the Marxists in order to come up with this story, but it's exactly the same situation. So you see, when you have a situation of immorality, crime, of course these things are going to happen. Of course. But the leftists, you know what they say? The feminists, the Jezebel feminists, they say that men are all guilty. It's the patriarchal society that is to blame. And they say they have here the sluts, the slut protests, the slut march, the sluts. And what they do, they go out in the streets half naked, with naked breasts, and they say, I am a slut. I have the right to be a slut. And they say like very profanities and horrible things. They say, like my genitals are mine. I will show my genitals to whoever I want. And they write those things, but they will use the bad words, okay? And they march on the streets, naked. So you see, my friends, what they want. Basically, Jezebel is a whore and a witch, okay? And witchcraft, we know, is the same as the sin of rebellion, okay? It means that you wanted to do your own thing. You don't respect the authority. You don't respect the authority of God and the authority of man. And you want to have your own way, okay? And you want, basically that's what witchcraft is. Because witchcraft, you just manipulate things, all right? Doesn't matter if it's an ugly toad, toadwort, mix it with, the feathers of a black chicken, and then you do a spell, or it means that you're manipulating the material world in order to get success and to have results in the spiritual world. That's what witchcraft is. All right? And then you mix that with whoredom, which is basically using your body for personal gain, for manipulating people. And that's what they do. That's what the feminists do. They know, okay, that men, they have an effect on men with their bodies. So what they want to do, they want to explore this strength, this power, with no consequences, with no responsibility. All right? So I want, to make the man drool about me. That's what they're doing, because they're, showing cleavage, showing their legs, and just walking half naked. And then all these men will be disturbed, all right, but they cannot say anything. So you see, it's an advantage that they want to have, with absolutely no respect to the other people, and absolutely no respect to the biological realities of the human race. Because, my friends, I'll tell you, there is a dominance in the sexual relationship of men and women. Okay? There is a dominance. It's biological, all right? It's biological. The woman is more vulnerable. The man is the active part. Do I need to really to be very explicit? I don't think I need to be very explicit, because I think that you got my point. You know, the man dominates the sexual relationship, and the women, or the woman, she is the receiving party. And that's what they do not accept. They just cannot accept that. You know, for many reasons. I mean, even if they're not lesbians, but this is the main reason why we have lesbians, okay? Because of this kind of rebellion, rejection of the female role in the relationship. Of course, men, in order for a good, healthy relationship to happen, women must trust men. That's why, that's why men are supposed to love their wives. That's why men are supposed to respect women. And that was the way that worked for thousands and thousands of years until today. Men would respect women, their fragility and their physical weakness. Okay? They will respect, sometimes even too much, putting them on a pedestal. On the other hand, women would respect men not using their sexual powers. Okay? Being sober, being modest. Okay? So it was a relationship of mutual respect, one to the other. But that's not what they want. That's not what Jezebel wants. Jezebel wants to dominate. She wants to control. She wants to use her guile and her cunning ways in a way to control men and to have advantage. So that's what the feminists are doing. And why the Marxists, usually feminists are also Marxists, okay? Because Marxists love feminists. Because this whole situation destroys the family. Because if you have a woman who says, I want to be a slut, I want to have sex with as many men as I want to control men, I want to have the sexual power over them, so they're drooling when they see me, so I can manipulate them, and they cannot say anything, because I'll send them to prison, because that's what they want. You know what they want to do here? They want to institute a law where a woman can only say, that guy raped me, without any proof, and that guy will go to jail. So she will have the power to destroy the life of any man that she does not like. So it's total power what they want. Jezebel wants total control. Total control. Okay? That's what they want. And do you think that Marxists don't like that? Because do you think this woman should be a mother? I mean, she will raise a family? No, my friends. What she's doing is, I don't want to marry. I don't want to have kids. I will not follow the authority of the church. I will not follow the authority of God. But I want the state, I want the government to protect me. So her God is the government. Who is the one who will enforce all those crazy laws? It's the government. It's the state. Especially the Marxist state. That's the one who will be her God. That's why the Marxists love feminism. That's why, for example, they have funded Gloria Steiner, CIA agent. That's why they have funded so many. KGB has funded so many feminist organizations. Just go to harrymacau.com. You can find that in the articles section. He has lots of articles exposing the political use of feminism. Feminism as equality between the genders is excellent. I think that women, they must have all the opportunities to be whoever they want to be. I think that not all women, they want to be married. What can we do? That's the truth. Some of them, they want to be by themselves. Okay. Some of them, they want to work. Okay. I think that is important that we, society give them this right. And of course, in the Western society, they have this right already. Isn't that interesting that nobody says a word about the women being treated as animals, as slaves in the Middle East, in the Muslim countries, in Africa? No, you never hear a feminist here in the West talking about that. It's just like they don't care. Because this, my friends, cannot be used in the political way. Do you understand that it's all politics? It has nothing to do about the well-being of women. Nothing at all. It's just about Marxism, politics, and the total domination by the state. That's what they want. That's what they want. The state will control what you say, what you do, and even if you smile. Oh yes, you cannot smile to a woman. Otherwise she will go to the police station and say that you raped her. And then, finish your life. I mean, this is worse than Nazism. This is worse than Stalinism. This is worse than, the Eastern Germany police. The Stasi. Do you remember the Stasi? People watching each other, spying on each other. You could not say, if you said something wrong, if you let it slip, that, some kind of criticism. It's just like in Cuba. Just, say something against the government and you end up in jail or killed. So that's what they want. And they're using feminism in order to achieve it. All right? Horrible thing. Horrible, horrible thing. And they're already arresting some of these guys. And they're absolutely mad. They're saying, this girl, she used to be into orgies and this is all a fabrication. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to end up in jail. If they are over 18, if they're under 18, nothing will happen. Okay? So, my friends, evil times that we live in, and we're going to discuss a little bit more about Jezebel when we return from the commercial break.
You are listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network. Kapow stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Kapow is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks. FifthHookMedia.com has a selection of ebooks about spiritual warfare and Christian living. Visit FifthHookMedia.com. That's FIFTHOOK Media.com. Remember, that's FifthHookMedia.com. FIFTHOOK.
Kapow!
Welcome to the Brother Marcos program on the Kapow Radio Show Network. We pray that you have eyes to see and ears to hear.
Kapow!
Are you serious?
All right, my friends. All right. We are back. We are back. And we are discussing the Jezebel spirit. The Jezebel spirit is a real spirit, okay? We're talking about the feminists, the crazy feminists that protest naked, and they like really to show their nakedness, and they like to say that men are disposable and that all men are rapists. There was this lady. Should I call her a lady? She was a girl in this university here in Brazil. And she was completely naked, okay? Completely naked. No, she was wearing tennis shoes, okay? Because not even the Marxist militants want to hurt her feet, okay? So they're militants. They really put some effort, but not that much, okay? They don't want to hurt their feet. And so she was parading inside the university in order to provoke men. In order, to create conflict because of the Jezebel spirit inside her, all right? And there was this video of the security guard, and he was saying, "Come on, get out of here!" And she was like showing him her genitals, like come and get it. So that's the kind of people, Marxist militants, girls, just parading naked inside universities, and those universities are completely dominated by Marxist professors here in Brazil. It's a hellhole, actually. Nobody learns anything there. They're all illiterate, ignorant people. But, that's the kind of Jezebel spirit we have here. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm gonna parade naked here. What you gonna do? You cannot do anything. I'll do whatever I want. So this is the Jezebel spirit. And I'll tell you, my friends, this is a real spirit. Okay? We are seeing the political consequences of people who are demon-possessed by this spirit. It's a spirit, my friend, that manifests in deliverance sessions. Oh yeah, in deliverance sessions. If people are praying and rebuking the demons in a person, this spirit will manifest and say, I am Jezebel. So it's a real entity. It's a real demon. Okay? And it's not only one, of course. It's a whole legion. It's a segment of hell. Okay? And that's why we are told in the Bible to be very careful. If you go to Proverbs, I've read Proverbs to my son, and I really incentive you, my friends. I really recommend that you do that. If you have a son, read him the book of Proverbs. Okay? Because it is a book that was written by a father to a son. That's the whole objective, the whole meaning of the book. And there's a lot of wisdom there. And the wisdom, especially, I'll tell you, he spends 80% maybe of the time talking about the adulterous woman, the whore, the Jezebel spirit. Telling his son, watch out, because she's there to destroy your soul and to destroy your life. That's what he does. Okay? And there are so many things, my friends. So many things. Proverbs 5:6. For she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't realize it. So now, my sons, listen to me. Never stray from what I'm about to say. Stay away from her. Don't go near the door of her house. I tell my son over and over, if you see a beautiful girl, talk to her, but just imagine if she were not beautiful, or if she were a man, would she be your friend? Because sometimes, or most of the times, boys, they just look for the beauty. They look, well, this is a beautiful girl, but she's completely stupid. So I'll tell my kid, just imagine if she were a boy, would she be your friend? Or she would be this stupid boy, okay, that you never wanted to have anything with her or with him in this imaginary case. Okay? That's what you have to do. Because that's the power she had. She has this power of beauty. That's the only power. Okay? It's worse when they're, in addition to being beautiful, some of them are charming, and that's even more dangerous. Okay? All right. Proverbs 7:24. Now then, my son, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. It means this is serious. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's a problem. I mean, and poor guy that marries a woman like that. Poor guy, okay? Because Proverbs 12 says, a wife with strength of character, a Christian wife, is the crown of her husband, but the wife who disgraces him is like bone cancer. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. Yes, my friends, yes. She has a seductive, persuasive, evil mouth. Proverbs 5:3. For the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as poison, as dangerous as a double-edged sword. Yes. Proverbs 22. The mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. So, this is important. Especially if you're young or if you have a son. Walk with the Lord. Do not be under the Lord's wrath, because the Lord will protect you. All right? Yes, my friends, that's what's happening. Romans 1:26 says, that's why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turn against the natural way to have sex, instead indulged in sex with each other. That's what we are seeing right now, and this is new. This is something that, never happened in the history of humankind in this open way. Of course, it happened, behind the curtains, in secret, but not like today. Today is in the open. Okay? Oh, yes. Proverbs 6, don't lust for her beauty. Don't let her coy glances seduce you. For a prostitute will bring you to poverty, and sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. Okay? Don't play with fire. Can a man scoop a flame into his lap and not have his clothes catch on fire? Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? Okay? Don't do that, my friends. Okay? Why be captivated, my son, by an immoral woman, or fondle the breasts of a promiscuous woman? Proverbs 5. Oh, yes, my friends. That's what they do. It's a trap. The adulterous woman, same thing. The gossiping woman. Okay? 1 Timothy 5. They ruin good morals. 1 Corinthians 15. So we have, my friends, all these women. Do you remember Potiphar's wife? The one who tried to seduce Joseph in Egypt? Delilah? Salome? Okay, and Jezebel. Oh yes, Jezebel. So my friends, this is a real spirit. You must understand that. This is a real spirit. And she has several traits, okay, that you can recognize. And it's interesting the way she works. There is an article here from a website called Bible-knowledge.com. And I'm going to post this in our Facebook page, facebook.com, Brother Marcos Radio, and the Fifth Hook Media Facebook page. And really tell us how this evil spirit works. Of course, you have to open your life and to open your heart for this kind of spirit to work. It's not like you're a good Christian and this evil spirit will come to your life. No, you have to open the door. You have to have pride in your life. You have to have, this kind of lust, and this thirst for control. Okay, once you have that, you open your life to the Jezebel spirit, and she will enter. Okay, she will contaminate the person, and then when soon you're gonna behave just like that spirit. You have the same evil traits that she has. All right. Okay, and so some of these traits here. Okay, let's check here. First of all, pure evil and hate. Because it's like, come on, it's a demon. Okay, demons don't love anybody, but it's a kind of spirit that has lots of pride. As a result, we will try to infect the host with the same kind of pride. And once he does, the host will no longer be able to accept any kind of constructive criticism from anyone. That's what we're seeing here today. Okay? And pride and this anger. You talk to this women, you try to tell them, I'm not a rapist. And they say, you are a rapist. You are. Just check the way you look at women. You are. You cannot talk to them. It's like they don't listen at all. Okay? It's here. The spirit will seek its own throne, and they will have to be in the total center of attention. There's a lot of women like that. You know, I'm going to read from this article, and you're going to start to think about, I know this woman, okay? Because they're everywhere, all right? They're everywhere. And they like to be the center of attention. You know what happened here in Brazil? There is this conservative congressman here that all the feminists, they hate. They really hate, because he says, you know, I'm against abortion, I'm against, special rights for the gay people. You know what they did? They did a protest here in the busiest avenue in São Paulo, okay? And they were there on the sidewalk, and they were spitting on the pictures of this congressman. And you know, I think this woman with the Jezebel spirit, this Marxist militant, she said, you know, spitting on the picture is not enough. You know what she did? She pooped on the picture, on the sidewalk, in front of everybody. You know, people filmed it, people recorded her doing that, you know, in the middle of the street, because she wants to be the center of attention. Okay? They also will no longer be able to bond with anyone, because they're now totally self-sufficient in their blown up egos. The only true friends they will have are the people who will get duped, and fall into their web of deceit and lives. You know, as long as they're useful to them. Okay? That's the kind of evil spirit, the Jezebel evil spirit. Okay? And, the author here says something very, very, very true. This kind of spirit is a master at setting up train wrecks and then orchestrating for them to actually occur with individual people, ministries, churches, companies, any group, actually. Any group. The way she works, number 2, the spider web analogy. Oh, yes. Spider web. The spider, is not like a lion that goes there and kills the prey and eats it. No, it stays by the side. It really builds this web, creates a web so it can trap the prey. Right? Trap the prey before devouring them. That's the way they move. Okay? They talk the talk, they impress people, they know how to, use false flattery to gain favor. In the beginning, many times, Jezebel is very seductive. Very seductive. Oh, yeah, it's very nice, until you are in her hands. And then, my friends, when you're in her hands, you're dead, actually. Sometimes, number 3, there will be a charismatic type of energy on the host of this spirit. Okay? Same thing. They know how to smile. They know how, to be seductive. You would not think demons could have this kind of seductive, drawing power within their evil natures and then be able to project it through their host. But some of these evil spirits do. And the Jezebel spirit has this kind of seductive, drawing power within itself. Just check Hillary Clinton. She's a Jezebel spirit. And she's ugly. But so many people love her. Why? Why people love that woman? It's because of the spirit inside her. It's a seductive spirit. It's like so many gurus, you see that guru, and especially here, we in the West, we see that guy that, you look at him and say, well, this guy must really stink. He looks like he hasn't taken a bath in a month. He's really ugly. And you see all these women falling in love with the guru, doing sex with him, thinking that he's a god. That's because of charismatic spirit inside of him. It's not something material. You cannot really explain by his looks or, his material characteristics. It's because of the demon inside that man. Same thing here. Okay, same thing here. And you think, that Jezebel spirit is only circumscribed to women? We just had the gay parade here in Brazil last Sunday. The same spirit is in men. All those men there mocking, especially the mocking spirit, because they were mocking Christianity like crazy there. And they're trying to really mock, and they're trying to get to be the center of attention. Of course they are, and and they're trying to create conflicts and fights. It's basically a Jezebel spirit, and they're men. They're men. They're gay men, but they're men. Okay, and they have the Jezebel spirit. Number 4, this spirit likes to attach to sharp, intelligent, and attractive people when it can. Oh yes. As a result of having a very seductive and high energy in its evil nature, the Jezebel spirit likes to attach to sharp, intelligent, and attractive people when it can. Oh yes, because it wants to be on the run. It wants to be, doing things. It's not a lethargic spirit. Okay? It's not like a spirit of envy or spirit. No, it's a very active. Okay? And that's it. That's it here. The spirit likes to target beautiful people because it wants total control of everything. And of course, if it attaches itself to a charismatic person, to an attractive person, it's easier to have this control. It wants to be just like Queen Jezebel. Oh yes, control, power. All right? As a result, they look for personalities that can help them climb to the top of the heap in whatever environment they're trying to work in. I have met so many Jezebel spirits in women in the business world. Oh, my friends. Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, some people, they confuse the Jezebel spirit and the arrogance with assertiveness, okay? I think that, of course, in business you have to be assertive, you have to be confident, and I think that women, when they're working, they have to be confident, of course, okay? But what happens is that sometimes these women, they have the Jezebel spirit and they're only aggressive and they're arrogant. But some people, they think, oh yes, she must be very confident, she must be very intelligent, okay? And they make a confusion and they start promoting this kind of women. So many women who are actually leading companies and they're, very high in the business world, they have the Jezebel spirits. Oh yes, they do. They do. Okay? And you can see by the arrogance, but the way they want to be the center of attention, the way they love to put down people. Oh yes, they love to step on their employees. Amen. It's better for you to be in hell than to be under the authority of one of these women, I'll tell you. I'm not saying that there are no bad bosses, but bad male bosses. Lots of bad, very bad male bosses, okay? But we are talking about specifically about the Jezebel spirit here. So I really, oh man, I could name so many of them. Okay, so that's it. If this spirit is working in the middle of a prayer group, it will try and work its way to the top in order to be the leader. She will try to be the leader of any group, my friends. She'll try to be in evidence. She'll try to be the one, in the highlights there. Okay. All right. What else here? Sex is a powerful weapon, okay? As you know, many men are easily lured into illicit affairs by pretty women. Many have used this expression that some women know how to get a man wrapped around their little fingers. I'm sure most of you have seen this phenomenon occur over and over again. Sex is a powerful weapon, and this kind of demon will always try and use whenever he can. This is why he likes to attach to attractive people whenever he can, because he knows he can use the person's physical attractiveness to draw people into its web. Oh yeah, absolutely. So you have the combination that is dangerous because it's seduction, charismatic type of energy, and then you attach this to a person who is naturally attractive, sharp, and intelligent, you then have a very deadly combination that the spirit can work with to achieve its ultimate goal, which is to bring down people. Destroy a person, a marriage, a church, a friendship, government. Government, of course. Our president here, Dilma, she has the Jezebel spirit. She throws things at people. The stapler, oh yes, the stapler. Her stapler flies off all the time. When she's mad, she throws coat hangers. Oh yes, people have, people have said that. And she insults people. Oh, she calls her ministers, the males there, the men, bad names, my friends. Oh yes, because she has the Jezebel spirit. All right. Number 5, we always seek to be the center of attention. Oh yes, desire for amount of love and attention, a narcissistic personality. Number 6, we'll seek to infiltrate, attack, and undermine everything. Because she wants, it's not the kind of spirit that will stay in its place. She'll try always to insert herself. Especially if there's something going on. Okay, there's something going on here. They're at school. They are doing this play. Oh, she has to be there. Or they're doing this event. In business, in the company, they have this event. She must be there. And I'll say more. She must be there and she must lead the whole thing. Okay? That's the kind of thing. All right? Its goal is total death and destruction. Plain and simple. If you're dating a person with this kind of evil spirit on them, they will try and get you to marry them. And until you do, it will be playing good cop with you the whole time. So it can continue to lure you and draw you into its web. But once, my friend, you end up marrying this person, that is when the bad cop will emerge. And that's when all hell will literally break out in your life. Yes, that's when the abuse will start. After he has gotten you totally caught in his web, with the web being the actual marriage itself, or the position, or maybe, you are working for her in her group, in the company, this kind of thing. The spirit first seeks to infiltrate the environment it wants to try and work in. And once it's in, it will then set up shop and start attacking and undermining literally every single thing it can. This spirit is an attack dog and will literally attack anything and everything it can, depending on how far the host will cooperate with its evil promptings. And how does she do that? We'll start playing major mind games. It's very good at playing mind games and head games with people. We'll know where your weak spots in the jugular veins will be at. And the attacks will always be targeted at your weak spots. So it can start to weaken and demoralize you and bring you down. Okay? We'll come after your specific personality traits, both good and bad. And to see if they can convince you that you are nobody and that you will never amount to anything good and worthwhile in your life. We'll try to make you think you are the crazy one and that they are the ones who have all the knowledge and wisdom. We'll try to make you feel inferior so they can gain the upper hand in the relationship. I was thinking about, I used to work for this marketing director here in Brazil, American multinational company, okay? Well, who cares? Johnson & Johnson. So this woman here, she had the Jezebel spirit, okay? And very interesting because she despised her husband. Okay? Her husband was like a good, and he was a good for nothing, but I can't understand. Because if this man married this woman, she would never let him be anything, It's like a parasite. It's like a bloodsucker. This man is probably has had so many problems with this woman that he would do like some kind of trivial odds and ends jobs. He didn't really have a real job. And she would despise this man, the husband, and she would say that in front of everybody. Oh, my husband, he's good for nothing. I am the boss at home. Because she was this marketing director and she made lots of money. Okay? And it's interesting that she tried to make me actually favor her husband in an event that we were sponsoring, okay, with company money, and I refused it. It was not good for me. But I remember very well, she was the boss of my boss, okay, and she called my boss once and said, you really didn't do what I told you to do. And my boss said, oh, I thought it would not be good for the company. And she said, no, you have to do, you cannot, disobey me in this way. You have to say in front of everybody here, I love this project. Come on, say it. Say it. I love this project. It's going to work. Say it. It's going to work. So she humiliated my boss in front of myself, okay, and other people, just to assert her authority and her power, in a cruel, cruel way. That's what she did. No, this memoir just came to my mind. That's the way they work. She crushed that other person, who was a woman, by the way. It's not because Jezebel is a woman that she will protect women. It's absolutely the contrary. Okay? Most of the times, Jezebel hates other women more than men. Oh, my friends, I cannot even try to imagine the fights that the feminists must have among themselves because they hate each other. Because, if you have a bunch of Jezebels, all of them want to be on top. So you can imagine the kind of environment the hell that they must live in. Okay? Oh yes, and you have to be very careful because she will try to bring you down. The prophet Elijah himself was so distraught and depressed after coming into direct contact with Queen Jezebel and that powerful spirit in her that he almost wanted to throw in the towel and quit until God strengthened him through an angel and then gave him a direct word. It took him a direct word from God, otherwise he would give up. Because the power of the Spirit is so great. The Spirit is very good at being critical and judgmental, and before you know it, it will have you believing in all the lies it has been throwing your way. This is where you really have to know who you are in Christ, and that you never allow a person with this kind of spirit on them to be able to bring you down, like they almost did with Elijah. This is the most important phrase, the most important sentence in this whole show, my friends. Never allow this spirit to bring you down because you are in Christ. You're seated in the heavenly realms by the right side of God with Jesus Christ. This spirit is nothing. It's nothing compared to the position you have in Christ and the Holy Spirit that lives inside you. Okay? Let this part of Elijah's story be a major lesson to all of us on how far the Spirit will try and go. To literally try and get you to quit and then walk out on God's calling for your life. I believe a lot of suicides we see may be a result of the Spirit's evil influence over a person and the mind games he knows how to play with them. Yes, that's, even a great man of God like Elijah was prey to this spirit. That's why I was saying that the husband of that marketing director, he was total failure in life, was man defeated, because of the spirit. Oh, I forgot to say she had a daughter, and her daughter was crazy. I mean, crazy, really. I mean, like, psychiatric care crazy. So that's the kind of curse that she brought to herself. Unfortunately, may God have mercy on this daughter. Okay, I have personally seen several men over the years be turned into a heap of mush by women who were operating with this kind of spirit on them. And the way it was done was by the mind games they were playing with the man over a certain period of time, beating them down with verbal assaults, tearing at their self-confidence, their self-worth in God, and what they were doing in their callings. By the time they got done with some of these men, many of them lost their callings in the Lord due to the fear and paranoia that was now oppressing them as a result of allowing this kind of spirit to get too strong of a foothold into their lives and callings for the Lord. And it causes also major dissension, strife, and chaos. Oh yes, infighting, backbiting, malicious type gossiping among people who are caught in its web. This kind of spirit knows exactly how to cause major dissension and strife, even among the best of friends. If the spirit infiltrates into a marriage, it will have everyone at each other's throats. Even the children will be fighting abnormally among one another. Okay? It's a peace disturber. Steals the peace of people. It will go after anyone in leadership position because, as we have discussed, it's a kind of spirit that wants to be on top, in control. Okay? So it will go after pastors, business directors, and heads of households, supervisors, upper level management, everything. If a man marries a woman who has this spirit on her, she will attack the man's authority as the head of the household and try to get that position for herself. How many Christians I have seen in my life? And you could say, who wears the pants in this house? It's the woman. I don't know why, especially Christians. I think that some guys, they want to respect, they read the Bible and they say, I must respect and love my woman, which is the right thing to do, but they just make the mistake of giving the authority of the house to the woman. I mean, many, especially American Christians. I don't know what's the problem with American Christians. Basically, almost all missionaries that I met, pastors, is the woman who wears the pants in the house. Because I think, America, especially in America, women, they're taught from childhood to be very assertive and strong. And what happens is that if the man is not strong too, she would be on top, my friends. And I remember things like that thing, that heretical thing, what's the name of that movement? That movement that taught men to be submissive. It was the man would, oh my God, I know that I'm going to remember this 10 seconds after I finish the show, okay? That movement, my friends, when all those men will get together and they would make pledges, to be submissive to their wives and to be like jellyfish, a bunch of jellies in the home, that's very common in America. Very common. I'll find this. Just give me a second. Okay, I got it. Promise keepers. Promise keepers. Yeah, the kind of movements that are really not biblical. Come on. If you read your Bible, you know what to do. You don't need to get in a stadium to have emotional experience. It's all about emotional experience, okay? And spending a lot of money and giving your money to groups and institutions so those guys will get rich and really say that they're doing something different. 2,000 years of Christianity without promise keepers, and they really say that they're going to change everything. And they come and go, and nothing really changes, okay? But the only thing is that the men were being like totally stolen, from their authority in the homes. And it's amazing. I don't know why. I wish someone could really tell me why American Christian men are so weak regarding their authority. Okay? Anyway, Okay, so many other things here. Okay. Will be able of giving false prophecies, visions, and dreams. Oh yeah, some of them, they really use that. It's a way of women to get in authority over churches. Okay. And now we have the pastors, female pastors everywhere here in Brazil. Evangelical churches, you have several passages in the New Testament saying, that women should not have authority over men in the church. They should not teach for men. But they don't care about the church. They want to be pastors because they have the Jezebel spirit. Okay? Even if they really believe in God, even if they're teaching good things, they cannot really bear the fact of being under the authority of someone. They have to be on top. Okay? And sometimes they use false prophecies, visions, and dreams. Okay? Because they get this kind of prestige inside the church. Okay? And it's a way for them to climb to the top. All right. Runs in tandem with a mocking spirit. This is so true. So true. Okay? Okay. As we have explained before, when a head chief demon such as Jezebel spirit moves in on the inside of a person's body, they will usually travel in groups, and they will thus have numerous other demons under their control and authority. One of the underlings will be what is called a mocking spirit. Yes, a mocking spirit. So when you try, my friends, to confront the spirit of Jezebel, oh boy, that spirit will take control, sometimes be quite funny and comical. And the author says here, it has literally made some deliverance ministers laugh right in the middle of an actual deliverance. It will try and distract you and get you off center so you do not stay too focused on trying to get the Jezebel spirit. The mocking spirit will make fun, make light of, and make jokes about anything and everything. Okay, and I have seen this mocking spirit. I mean, especially if you go to Facebook and try to criticize someone who has a Jezebel spirit, they will say, ha 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 ha. Oh boy, when you see someone saying, ha 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 on Facebook, I mean, you can bet 90% of chance that they have a mocking spirit there. It's a way to not discuss the issue, just mock. They hate, number 10, Jezebel spirit hates prophets, prayer, and spiritual warfare. Oh, yes. Because they have authority, the authority of God. Yeah, it doesn't like that. So the host usually will not know they have this kind of spirit in them. That's the problem. Because the spirit will try to deceive them, saying, it's your right. You're just mad because you have a right. Now, it works a lot with the concept of right, the false concept of right, okay? So I have a right to be whatever I want to be. I have a right, to be in control. I have this God-given, they will say, God-given right, to be my best. I mean, open any magazine today. They all say the same thing, especially Cosmopolitan, Vogue, all those Allure, all the magazines for women. You can be whatever you want. You have the right to be on top of the world. Okay? So they will think that all these urges that they have is just because they have this right and they want these things that they think are valid. Okay? But it's not. It's the spirit of Jezebel inside them making them think this way. So, my friends, now that you know to recognize this spirit, be on your guard, okay? Because there's 4 symptoms that it's attacking you, okay? Fear. Remember that Elijah ran for his life, okay? If you're afraid to talk to someone in your church, for example, or at work, it's because of the Jezebel spirit. It uses fear. Remember, Elijah, he was afraid of Jezebel. I mean, this guy he had just killed 200 priests of Baal. He had seen God bring down fire from heaven because of his prayer. And even though he had such power on his hands, and the favor of God, he was afraid of Jezebel. So the Jezebel spirit will use fear, will use isolation, will use exhaustion. You collapse. You're so tired. It's a stupor spirit. You're so tired, you sleep for hours when you leave the area. It's a spirit. A sense of oppression. It will use exhaustion, okay? And depression. Elijah prayed that he would die. Many leaders are affected by this. Moses, Jeremiah, Jonah. Because, this spirit has so much energy. And this is another female characteristic. I'm not kidding here. Please don't hate me. Ladies, don't hate me. But, nervous energy, it's something very, very characteristic to females, this nervous energy. Some women, they can talk. They won't give up, and they will talk, and they will try to, convince you or something. Or if they have this fixed idea in their minds, they will not stop until they get it. And most men, they will say, okay, I'll give up, whatever you want. It's true what I'm talking. Most men will say, come on, don't bother me. Whatever you want. So they have this nervous energy, okay? That's why they work with exhaustion, all right? They can't do that. Because of the energy given by the Jezebel spirit. Okay? And will try to kill you. Alright? It will try to kill you. So, my friends, I'll tell you. What's the answer here? The answer, my friends, is your position in Christ. Your position in Christ. Remember the promises of God. Remember that you have the Holy Spirit inside you. Okay? Ask God to show you where the danger lies. Be careful, if you're a man especially, be careful about sexual temptation. Be careful about, the Machiavellic tricks of some women. And even if you are women, pay attention because, Jezebel spirit may be after your man. The Jezebel spirit will try, if you are a woman, the Jezebel spirit will try to tell you that you are stupid because you're not using your natural weapons. If you are modest, the Jezebel spirit, especially that friend of yours, will say, oh, come on, you're stupid. Why you should be dressing more in a provocative way. Why don't you dress more sexy? Oh, no, you're too modest. What's your problem? You look like an old woman. That's what they do. If you are a woman of God, the Jezebel spirit would try to do that. Okay? So, my friends, pay attention. Remember who you are in God. Do not do like Elijah. Do not get depressed. Remember, the spirit who is in me is stronger than the spirit in the world. It's stronger than the Jezebel spirit. You are seated, your position right now. You have a reservation, that restaurant there in heaven. Your position right now is by the right side of God, the Father, with Jesus Christ. Who is Jezebel? And now that you understand the characteristics of the spirit, just rebuke it. Go away from my family. Go away from my life. Go away from me, Jezebel. I rebuke you. In the name of Jesus Christ, of the Lord Jesus Christ, in the blood of Christ, I rebuke you. Get out of my life. Okay? That's what you should do. Stay strong. Keep your ground. Do not let her build her web around you. Because she will only be able to attack you and bring you down if you let her build that web around you. And it takes time. So if you recognize those traits, you can rebuke her in the beginning. Don't pay attention. If you have, to be rude, just not talk to her. Okay? Do not talk to her because she'll try to be seductive. All right? So keep your ground, my friend. Stay firm. Read Proverbs. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much. I hope that you have learned something today. And I hope that God bless you and that we'll be able to meet again next week. Bye-bye.
Go to fifthhookmedia.com right now. 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 Go to fifthhookmedia.com right now.